All right, cool.
All right, do you need to say anything before we get started for the recording?
I think this is our third meeting, so thank you guys for hopping on. This is Kim. Julia is actually going to do a presentation for us on Facebook algorithms. So thanks to you who hopped on tonight. I know it's a Friday night and this was last minute, so we're going to record this and we will definitely pop the recording in the group later for those who couldn't make it. But, you know, we're all starting to kind of get a little deeper into social media. And Facebook algorithms are definitely something that we want to pay attention to. So, Julia, thank you for doing this presentation.
Sure. Yeah. Kim and I thought it was kind of important that if we are marketing on social media, that we are specifically Facebook, that we learn the rules and regulations and tactics about the platform. So that's what we're going to do. This is just going to be about Facebook algorithms, since most of us are using Facebook to build our business. Oh no, what has happened? Okay, so first thing you need to realize is that Facebook does have rules. They can easily shut, you don't own Facebook, okay? As much as we want to pretend that we do, they own us, basically. These are not our personal accounts. They have full control over it. So they can remove posts, they can shut down accounts if they feel that it is spam. People can report things, they can report them as spam, they can report them as obscene, you know, nudity, you can report that. So you got to be making sure that your posts are not spammy, that you're not going to get reported. And it's actually, a lot of people don't recognize this, that it's actually against Facebook regulations to sell products from your personal profile. Now, I don't want to like make you guys nervous about that, because there is a way around it if you know how to market effectively. When you see people out there that are posting their links, they are having corporate pictures, and they're basically just screaming, buy my product, and it is obvious that they are with a company and they're trying to make a sell, they could easily get their Facebook shut down. So that's the whole reason that Facebook even has business pages, because they have to make money too. Facebook needs their billion, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire from Facebook. So Facebook business pages is how Facebook makes money. So they want people selling their products on business pages. And Kim and I both recommend usually don't post like company links that go right to your MLM company. That's one of the reasons we recommend not doing that, because it is against Facebook regulations and people could report that. And there is such a thing called Facebook jail. Some of you might have already been in it at some point or you've heard about it. And what Facebook jail is, well, actually, I'm going to get to that. But if they put you in Facebook jail, you could end up getting your account shut down forever if you don't obey the rules. And sadly, I've seen this happen many times.
We actually have one of our own team members currently who's in Facebook jail, and she's not able to access any groups. So unfortunately, she's missing every team and corporate update right now from the group. So it makes it hard because there's always that one off. So I have to keep filling her in through Facebook Messenger, which thank God she still has access to at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm actually going to talk about that in 1 second. So Facebook jail is when users are blocked or banned by Facebook itself from posting on the site or accessing their own account due to violations of spammy behavior or, you know, something else. Worst case scenario, that jail would lead to your account being shut down forever. Usually what happens if you're a first-time offender, they can just kind of block you from posting into groups or messaging people. It can last for 2 days, it could last for 14 days, and then again, they could shut your account down. Now think of this as from a leadership standpoint, like Kim was saying. You know, can you imagine if Kim was to get in Facebook jail and couldn't post in our synergy group? I mean, that's like, it can really be damaging to people that are trying to run a business on Facebook when they can't communicate effectively with their team or send out messages. So, you know, it is kind of a big deal, but, you know, if you guys, you know, teach, especially in the March Madness Bootcamp, you guys are going to get a lot of really good information. And if you just implement what Kim and I teach, you won't ever end up in Facebook jail, really. And that's where I'm going with this, is how do you avoid Facebook jail? It's very easy to avoid if you're being authentic, if you add value instead of spamming your business, and you use your own pictures and your own wording. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a post that somebody puts up and then it will say like attachment unavailable. That picture, somebody tried to post a picture and it was reported as spam. So what happens if you use a corporate picture and it keeps getting reused and reused and reused, it's marked as spam. And then Facebook will can block that picture, and you're also reported for spamming. So anytime you want to use a picture from corporate or that you see that's floating around on social media that you thought was funny, like if you saw a wine meme that somebody else had posted, you might want to do a couple of things to it. You might want to throw it into an app, put a border around it, put your name on it, change the pixels somehow so it isn't marked as spam on Facebook. So when these specific things gets you flagged as spam from Facebook. Any type of copy and pasting. Anytime you, what was that?
My phone.
Oh. Anytime you copy and paste something that's word for word, you have to be changing the wording by 20%. So if there's something that you guys see that I post or Kim posts and you want to use it, you can take it and then you can tweak it. But if you take it word for word, you get flagged and Facebook doesn't tell you that they're flagging you. Facebook doesn't give you any notification that you're getting points docked against you whatsoever. It's just part of their algorithms and how they work. But if you tweak things, you'll be all right. But it's the word for word. If you're not being authentic, then you get flagged as spam. Pictures are the same way. Like I just said before, if you're using any type of picture that's been going around and around and it's corporate and other people are posting the same thing, you have to put it in some type of app to change it up. You edit it, border it, put your name on it. You can add a sticker. You have to do something to change that. Same thing with messaging people excessively. So if you sit there and I know a lot of network marketing companies teach this too, that copy and paste the same message to like 30 people in a row, you're going to probably end up in Facebook jail. When you copy and paste messages, especially if you do it in a way where it's back to back to back, if you're not leaving any room between your messages, then you could be flagged. But it's the same thing if you're copying and pasting. So always, an easy solution to that is to make your message personal. So say the person's name and then add an emoji or something, like change up the wording a little bit. I know we use scripts, but you don't have to like copy and paste that word for word. You can make it personal and add a few things, and that will, eliminate any flags for Facebook with you being a spammer.
So sometimes when you're sharing a picture or a link or even, a text that is copied and pasted, you're going to get that pop-up that says you need to choose from these pictures of every picture that contains a waterfall or a tiger or something like that. That kind of indicates that that post or that picture or that link is getting close to that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it always does that, but that is definitely an indicator. I've heard like you need approval from something. I've seen something like that it does kind of set some type of flag off for you to kind of realize that something's not right. It's not so obvious though, in my opinion. That I had no idea. This was a while ago though, when I got an alert. Friend requesting masked amounts. Same thing. If you go in through those suggested friends list, those friends that Facebook is suggesting you be friends with, if you just go through and you keep adding and adding and adding, you're going to end up in Facebook jail. I would only recommend doing 5 friend requests at a time. And again, you want to make sure that people are actually accepting your friend requests, because if you also have a bunch of friend requests that are just sitting there and they're not accepting, then you come across as a spammer and you get flagged from Facebook. So if you want to start growing your friends list, do 5 friends at a time. What's that? Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Mm-mm.
And definitely, I don't recommend ever sending a friend request to somebody you don't have mutual friends with. Unless you have some type of, relation connection with this person and you've been sending messages back and forth and they're, coming through your ad or something. But if you don't have mutual friends between people, then don't send a friend request. You can hit the follow button if it's available, and then in hopes that they will send you a friend request because you followed them. But it's not a good idea. You get flagged by Facebook that you're spamming if you have no mutual friends in common. Posting in groups and joining groups too quickly. So there are tons of groups out there, you guys. If you're not in any, like wine groups, mom groups, network marketing groups, you should find some, but you want to do it slowly. If you're posting in groups too fast, you get flagged. And Kim came up with this, or she shared this schedule with me, and she does this regularly. So when you first want to join groups, you do 5 to 10 groups a day. If you sit there and you go and try to join 50 groups a day, you're going to probably end up in Facebook jail. You want to post in 5 groups every 3 hours for 3 days. And then do up it to 7 to 8 groups every 3 hours for 3 days. And then you can post 10 to 12 groups every 3 hours. That's if you want to go this route and get into groups and sharing your content into groups to try and gain more followers. But you don't have to do this, but just know, you don't want to go too fast. People, like, if you see me or Kim posting in groups, we've adjusted our algorithms because we followed a system like this. We didn't get to the point. We didn't start off being able to share in 10 groups every 3 hours from the very beginning.
Think of it like a balloon. You're just kind of stretching it out and getting it to the point where it's just not going to pop. So you just have to stretch out those algorithms so it gets used to your posting methods. And once it is, you can do those 10 groups comfortably without being flagged. But you have to work your way up to it.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Ways to increase your engagement. That's really what we all want, right? We want people liking our stuff, commenting on it. So here are some ways you can get more engagement. 1, live videos, guys. Facebook loves live videos. If you haven't figured that out, they actually just made a separate news feed for live videos. And I forget the number, but in the near future, Facebook is basically going to be all videos. So if you're not doing videos, you might want to start trying, because they get a lot of engagement. They allow people to get to know you better. And Facebook favors live videos. They push them through the news feed, so people are seeing them more than just a regular post, and more than a pre-recorded video. Never ever post a YouTube link. This is another reason, guys, that we say no, don't post a link, which I think I'm going to get into this later, but I'll say it now too. Is that Facebook doesn't want people leaving Facebook. So when you go and you post a link, they don't want them leaving Facebook. They want them staying on Facebook. So they end up pushing links further down in the newsfeed where people aren't going to see them. YouTube and Facebook are competitors. This is why Facebook is going to be mostly all video at some point in a few years, because they're competing with YouTube. So if you post a YouTube video, most people aren't going to see it. Like, nobody's going to see it, really. So don't recommend posting any YouTube videos because nobody's going to see it. Pre-recorded videos are another way to get engagement. Videos are the way to go. If you're too nervous to do a live video, then do a pre-recorded video. And, a pre-recorded video will definitely get you more engagement than a regular post would. So here are some things that you can do for just when you're posting a native post to Facebook. We call it boosting and juicing your post. One of the tactics that I use a lot, actually, and I do this on my videos too, is I like my own post. Basically all of my posts. And another thing that I do is that in a few hours, I unlike it and then I like it again. So I push it back up through the news feed so more people are going to see it. So you can just go through your posts. If you post something and nobody liked it, go like it yourself and unlike it and like it again. And it's going to post it through the news feed and you're going to get a little bit more engagement. Now, your own likes don't necessarily hold to as much weight as somebody else, but it still does help boost it through the news feed. Comments hold more weight than a like. If you can get more comments going through a post, then you it'll keep being seen more through the news feed. So there's two ways you could do this. When somebody leaves a comment, there's that little button that says reply. Don't reply to them. You want to actually start a new comment and then you can tag them and so they know you're replying to them, because that'll hold more weight than just the reply button. It doesn't actually make it as a real comment. So that's something that I would recommend doing, and I do it all the time too, is usually I start a new comment whenever I'm talking, so the thread just gets longer and it keeps getting pushed up through the news feed. Do you have anything?
Boosting and juicing is really important when you're thinking about your audience who does have to go to a physical job. So if you post something that's like critical to your business or just a really good post, and you post it in the morning, unfortunately, when most people are at work at their desks, not on Facebook, you may consider boosting it or juicing it around lunchtime or in the evening when you know that those people are home, because then those working people are able to see it during different hours. So you want to kind of be aware of the time of day that your post is getting more engagement, and then you can do that boosting or juicing just to kind of keep it rotating through the news feed so that the people who didn't get a chance to see it at some point can now see it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I do live videos, and when I do them, I have to do them whenever my son is napping. Otherwise, it will be a nightmare of a video. But usually it's around lunchtime or in the mid-afternoon. And during that time, I don't get a whole lot of engagement with that because people are working and they're out and about. But what I do is whoever comments, I don't reply to their comment right away. I wait a few hours and then I go and I boost it later. So I'll go, I did it later in the afternoon today because I did my live at 11:30, I think, today. So about 4 o'clock I went and I replied to somebody's comment and I liked it. I liked my own post. And then right now, after this video, after this Zoom call, I'm going to go and I'm going to start commenting on it. So all these nighttime people are going to see it too, and I'll get more views. So those are just a few tactics that we use, and they work for engagement. Again, avoiding links. I mentioned that Facebook wants everybody to stay on Facebook. So when you post things that are a link to leave Facebook, it's automatically going to push your post down in the news feed. So what the heck was that? Anybody else see that?
You're drawing.
I didn't even touch my computer. How did that go away? I'm not even touching my computer. That is so weird.
I love it.
Oh God. Okay.
March Madness boot camp is going to be so friggin' fun. I can't stand it.
Yeah. These PowerPoints make me go cross-eyed though.
I love it.
So yeah, one way that you can do it is you can post your links in your comments section and direct people to go into your comments. One, this helps for two reasons, because the longer somebody stays on your post, the better. So if you have written something where somebody has to go and look in your comment section, then they're automatically staying on your post longer because they have to go and view your comments. And the second reason to post in the links is your link in the comment would be because it doesn't show in the post that you're trying to take people off of Facebook. This is just kind of like a loophole to be able to post a link. So for my blog posts, or I have free resources and trainings I know that if I was to post the direct link in my post, that it wouldn't reach as many people. So what I'll say is, if you're struggling to stay out of Facebook jail, I have something for you. If you want to just look into the comment section, you can enjoy, and then they go and they find the link there. And then it just goes and reaches people better than it would if I had the link right in my post.
I always remember somebody telling me early on, probably 2 years ago, when I really got serious about network marketing, is that Facebook is a cash cow. And I just always visualize a cash cow. So they want to protect their wallet and absolutely keep every penny within Facebook. So the only objection to that statement, I think, is in your description. The only link that's acceptable is if you're directing people to a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
If it's another page within Facebook, then it's A-okay to put in the description. But like Julia said, if it's an external link, then it either has to be a call to action where you tell someone, reach out to me or comment below and I'll send you the link, or put it in the comment field.
Yeah, and you can actually, if you make your own graphics in a app, you can put your link in the picture and it doesn't flag Facebook. So I actually brand all my graphics with juliabibey.com. That's my blog. That's where I generate, it's just where I lead people to. So I brand my graphics with juliabibey.com. That does not flag Facebook. But if I was to put the actual link in my post, it would flag and it wouldn't get as far as a reach. So that's a little hack you could do too. So you have to avoid low quality words and phrases, which is also known as game feeding. So one thing what's happening is that Facebook is actually sending out surveys to people, and what they're saying is, we don't like seeing the spam. We don't like seeing people sell things. We come here to socialize, just to see what's up with people. We don't want to be seeing all this spam and selling stuff. So this is why the algorithms are the way they are, because the people are talking. They're saying what they want, and Facebook has developed an algorithm where they can pick up on low quality words. They want high quality, authentic posts, and those are what's going to get the engagement. So low quality words and phrases to stay away from would be message me, comment below, share this post, like this post. Those are words that you want to avoid because they're low quality. So I see a lot of people saying all that stuff, and I mean, it's no good. Ways you can get around that though would be, instead of saying send me a message, you can say shoot me a PM. Instead of saying comment below, you can say drop your favorite emoji below if you want to know more. Instead of saying share this post, you can say feel free to spread the love. Instead of saying like this post, you can say give this a thumb and put the thumbs up emoji. So you got to get a little bit creative so your posts aren't being considered low quality, so they stay up in the news feed. Just a few tips: use emojis in your posts. They are eye-catching, and people are more than likely going to stop scrolling and see what you're talking about when you use emojis. It's inevitable. Even in messaging people, I always use an emoji, and they're more than likely going to open the message. Know when your target audience is on Facebook to see your posts. So if you guys are marketing to moms that work 9 to 5, then you probably don't want to be doing all your good posts during the 9 to 5 hours. Your good posts are going to want to be in the evening whenever they're actually going to be on Facebook. So you have to know when the people that you're actually targeting and trying to get to buy from you are going to be on Facebook. So the best times to post on Facebook is around 11 o'clock, and I think 11 to 1 is a good time frame I've seen. 3 p.m. and then 8 o'clock, I think even 7 to 10. But these are the biggest spikes. These times are the biggest spikes, and even on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time is, for whatever reason, the busiest period. So take a screenshot of that, whatever you want to do. That way you guys know like the best times to be posting. Now, you want to post natively whenever you can. And what I mean by that is like just going to Facebook and doing a post. When you use things like Buffer or Hootsuite or SynthShare, they actually don't show up in the newsfeed as far as a regular native post. Again, Facebook wants everybody on Facebook. They don't necessarily want third parties. If that is the only way you are able to get your posts out and stay consistent, then by all means, please be using the scheduling apps, but post natively whenever you can. Keep in mind, only 8% of your friends list actually gets to see your posts. This is why it's so important to keep your friends list going, because you're going to get more eyeballs on what you have to offer. So you got to keep expanding that, your friends list. If you aren't getting any likes or comments, I have to ask you this. Are you liking and commenting on other people's posts? If your answer is no, then you need to change that. When you're engaging more with other people's posts, you're going to get more engagement. Also, are you connecting with people on your friends list daily? When you message people back and forth, it tells Facebook that you are important to each other, and you'll begin to see their content in their newsfeed. Have you ever thought to yourself, wow, I sure see a lot of, Sarah's posts? Well, that's because Sarah and I talk all the time, so she's always in my newsfeed. But if you were to do that with other people, their content and your content begins to show up in each other's newsfeeds. It's really important to make sure you're staying up on top of the algorithm changes if this is something that you are, using as a main source of building your business. Kim and I would definitely do our best to keep you guys informed throughout your journey on Facebook and building your business. Now, I know we're going to get kicked off here soon, but does anybody have any questions? We can answer a few questions. Tiffany, I have no idea about Instagram. I literally just started getting on Instagram more regularly. I'm not sure about that. Kim, do you have an answer for that?
I can't see her question.
Oh, does juicing and liking your own posts on Instagram work the same way?
Instagram is a different beast, and it's really about hashtags and following people. And I have a really, really great Instagram training that I can do with the group, with you guys. I know that Marie is going to do one next week, but I just started my Instagram really, really consistently, probably last Saturday. And I went from about 400 followers to now I'm just under 1,300 followers in less than a week. So it's really about the hashtags that you use and making sure that you follow people.
Anybody else have any questions? Do you have anything you have to add, Kim?
No, I think that covered everything. That was really good. I don't think that people know where to go to find the Facebook algorithm changes or updates or anything like that. I think that's kind of why a lot of people are left in the dark.
I think Facebook just posts them. I mean, like they're in there. I don't know.
I know where we find it from, but not everyone has that access. So we're going to, do our best to make sure that it's funneled down to the team.
Yeah, what's his name? John Eric. He is like the Facebook algorithm guru. And you can follow him on Facebook, and he actually has a private group that you can pay to stay on top of everything. But he posts a lot of the free stuff and events and stuff to learn about it. That's
weird. We have a John Eric in our upline.
Well, he's probably with Dark Sellers.
Oh gosh.
Anybody else? No.
Well, this was definitely helpful.
So do I just do stop recording and then I would X out?
Yep. Stop recording, and then there should be a button for me, it's the bottom right that says end meeting.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, there's the chat. Okay.